Your brain is hiding things from you. Right now, locked away somewhere in your skull, there are faces you've seen, skills you've learned, and experiences you've had that you have absolutely no conscious access to. Scientists used to think early memories just disappeared. They were wrong. Here are 7 types of memories your brain is keeping from you. Number 1, your first year. For decades, scientists believed babies couldn't form real memories until age 3 or 4. Their brains were supposedly too immature. Blank slates. Turns out that's completely wrong. A groundbreaking study published in 2025 scanned the brains of babies as young as 4 months old while they looked at pictures of faces, objects, and scenes. And here's what they found. Starting around 12 months of age, the posterior hippocampus, the exact same brain region adults use for episodic memory, was actively encoding individual memories. These weren't vague impressions. These were real, specific memories being formed and stored. The researchers tracked where babies looked when shown the same images again. Babies over 1 year old showed clear recognition patterns. Their hippocampi lit up differently for familiar versus new images. This was the first time anyone had directly observed memory formation happening in real time inside an infant brain. So if babies are forming memories, why can't you remember being one? That's the thing. You might still have those memories. They're just locked away. The researchers believe the issue isn't that the memories weren't stored. It's that something changed later that made them impossible to retrieve. Your first year is still in there somewhere. Your brain just changed the locks. Number 2, childhood amnesia. Here's a term you might not know. Infantile amnesia. It's the scientific name for why you can't remember anything before age 2 or 3. And for a long time, the assumption was simple. Those memories were never formed, or they were erased during brain development. But there's a problem with that theory, a big one. In 2023, researchers discovered they could reactivate supposedly forgotten childhood memories in adult mice. Using light to stimulate specific neural pathways, they brought back memories the mice had formed as infants and then lost access to. The memories weren't gone. They were just locked behind a door the adult brain couldn't open. This is what neuroscientist Flavio Donato calls the paradox. During infancy, the brain is learning faster than it ever will again. Yet none of those memories seem to stick, except maybe they do. Maybe they're all still in there, filed away in a system you can no longer access. And here's the unsettling part. Even if you can't consciously remember your early childhood, those experiences still shaped who you are. Trauma experienced in infancy affects adult mental health. Attachment patterns formed before you could speak influence your relationships decades later. Your brain remembers. You just don't. Number 3, trauma's hidden vault. When something truly terrible happens, your brain doesn't just file it in the normal place. It uses a completely different system. Researchers at Northwestern discovered that during extreme stress, the brain switches from its normal memory pathway to something called the extrasynaptic GABA system. This isn't just a different folder. It's a different filing cabinet entirely, regulated by a small molecule called MIR33 that normal memories don't even use. Here's how it works. During a traumatic event, your amygdala goes into overdrive while your hippocampus essentially shuts down. The memory still gets recorded, but it gets stored in a way that requires the same emotional state to access. It's called state-dependent memory. And it means the information is only available when you're in a similar mental and emotional condition to when it was stored. This is actually protective. Your brain is essentially saying, you don't need to consciously carry this right now. But there's a cost. Those buried memories can still cause problems, anxiety, depression, flashbacks, physical stress responses to triggers you don't consciously understand. Your body remembers what your mind won't let you see. The controversy here is real. Some researchers argue that truly repressed memories are rare or don't exist at all. Others point to cases where abuse survivors have no conscious memory of events, but show unmistakable physiological stress responses when exposed to related triggers. The science isn't fully settled, but one thing is clear. When things get bad enough, your brain has a backup system, and it doesn't always share what it knows. Number 4, skills without sources. You know how to tie your shoes, you know how to ride a bike, you know how to walk, to eat with utensils, to do 1,000 tiny things without thinking about them. But here's a question. Do you actually remember learning any of those skills? Probably not. And that's because of something called procedural memory. Procedural memory is a type of implicit memory. It's knowledge you can use but can't consciously access. You don't remember learning to walk, but you can walk. You don't remember learning your native language's grammar rules, but you apply them perfectly every time you speak. The information is there. You just don't have a memory of acquiring it. The most famous case in neuroscience history proved this exists. Patient HM, a man named Henry Malazan, had his hippocampus surgically removed in 1953 to treat severe epilepsy. After that, he couldn't form new conscious memories at all. He'd meet someone, have a conversation, and then meet them again 5 minutes later with no memory of the first interaction. But here's the wild part. He could still learn new motor skills. Researchers had him practice a mirror drawing task, tracing a shape while only seeing his hand in a reflection. Each day, he got better. But each day, he thought it was his first time trying. His conscious memory was completely gone, but his procedural memory was still recording everything. Your brain is doing the same thing, recording skills in a system you can't consciously see. Right now, you know how to do things you have absolutely no memory of learning. Your brain just never gave you the receipt. If you're finding this interesting, consider subscribing. I drop videos like this regularly. Anyway, back to it. Number 5, familiar strangers. You're walking down the street and you see someone. They look familiar. You're sure you know them from somewhere. But you have absolutely no idea where. No name, no context. Just this nagging sense that your brain recognizes them. This isn't your imagination. Your brain really does recognize them. It just won't tell you why. Face recognition operates largely through implicit memory. Your brain logs faces constantly, in the background, without your conscious awareness. That person who looks familiar might be someone you passed on the subway 3 years ago. Someone who was in the background of a photo you glanced at. Someone from a dream. Your subconscious filed them away. You just don't have access to the filing system. Research using brain-computer interfaces has actually measured this. Scientists showed subjects photos of famous people. About 20% were consciously recognized. But brain scans revealed subconscious recognition of faces in the remaining 80% faces people had seen before but didn't consciously remember. Even more interesting, people with prosopagnosia, face blindness, who genuinely cannot consciously recognize faces, still show different physiological responses to familiar versus unfamiliar faces. Their skin conductance changes, their brain activity shifts, some part of them knows, even when they have no conscious awareness of it. Your brain is keeping a catalog of every face you've ever seen. You just don't get to look at it. Number 6, dream access. Every night, while you're asleep, your brain is doing something interesting. It's unlocking memories you can't access during the day. During sleep, especially REM sleep, your brain reactivates and consolidates memories. It takes recent experiences and integrates them with older, stored information. And sometimes, fragments of those locked memories leak into your dreams. Here's what's strange. Episodic memories are never replayed exactly in dreams. Instead, they appear as isolated fragments mixed with remote memories and random associations. That place in your dream that felt so real but you can't identify? It might be a blend of 3 different locations you've been to over the past decade. That person who seems so important? A composite of faces your subconscious has stored. A meta-analysis found that dreaming about a learning task predicts better performance afterward. Your brain is literally processing and consolidating information while you sleep. And some of what it's working with are memories you have no conscious access to. Adult-born neurons in the hippocampus are necessary for this process. REM sleep specifically activates memory consolidation systems that don't operate the same way when you're awake. Your sleeping brain has access to files your waking brain can't open. That random detail in last night's dream that felt weirdly familiar? Your brain was probably working with a memory you forgot you had. Quick reminder, if you're enjoying this, subscribing really helps out. Now, where were we? Number 7, Deja Vu. You walk into a room you've never been in before and suddenly you're absolutely certain you've been here. You know what's going to happen next. You've seen this moment before, except you haven't. Have you? Deja vu affects 60 to 70% of people, most commonly between ages 15 and 25. And for a long time, it was a mystery. Now we have some answers, and they're weirder than you'd think. One theory is that déjà vu is essentially a memory leak. Information from your current experience accidentally shortcuts from short-term to long-term memory, making the present moment feel like it's being recalled from the past. Your brain is filing the experience as a memory while you're still having it. Another explanation involves something called cryptomnesia. That's when you've actually experienced something similar before but completely forgotten it. A room with the same spatial layout as somewhere you visited years ago. A conversation that echoes one you had in high school. The memory is real, you just don't consciously remember it. So when the familiarity signal fires, it comes with no context, leaving you with that eerie sensation of recognition without source. Here's the surprising part. Déjà vu is actually a good sign. According to Dr. Akira O'Connor at the University of St. Andrews, it means your brain's fact-checking system is working. Déjà vu isn't the glitch. It's your brain catching the glitch and flagging it. You feel the false familiarity, but you also know it's false. That's your frontal cortex doing its job. So the next time you get that creepy feeling that you've lived this moment before, your brain might actually be right. You might have seen something similar somewhere sometime, you just don't remember it. But some part of you does. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. See you.